Scattered storms are staying in the forecast. I'll have more details in just a few minutes.
We're turning attention now to the weather. Another hot one today. Molly Starr here with a first look at that forecast. Molly, good evening.
Good evening. You're right. It was another hot day out there, and it's gonna stick around. Today, our highs were in those low 90s, so slight bit cooler than it was yesterday. We saw more 94, 95 yesterday, whereas today we saw 93s, 91s, and 92s. But again, those feels like temperatures are even closer to the 100-degree mark. Some areas, especially like Jasper, has been seeing a heat index of 101 degrees, so awfully hot, awfully humid, and luckily those temperatures are on the cool down for the evening. But I'll have details on the temperatures and the rain chances for the rest of the week coming up in just a few minutes. Well, another hot day has come and gone, and unfortunately, they're not going anywhere, but I'll have more details on what the temperatures look like in the next few days coming up. Well, another day has come and gone here in July, and it's looked like the last few, and that's the story of the week. We're just seeing a cycle move through now. Here in Demopolis, currently sitting at 76, which was one of the coolest temperatures we've seen today, and about the current temperature, but their high today was 92 degrees. They actually saw about an 11-degree cool down as some storms moved through earlier this afternoon, but most all of those storms have exited our area. Now, being this late at night, we are starting to see a little bit of ground clutter from our Birmingham radar. However, that being said, there could still be a scattered shower out there. I wouldn't even call it a storm, just a little brief rain moving across the area. But as I've been talking about pretty much the past few days, we're not getting rid of that rain chance at all the next few days. We're actually going to start seeing an increase in it as we move into the later half of the week. So Wednesday, just a few storms, a whole 50% worth of storms. Starting earlier in the day, lasting longer in the day than comparative to today. But that's the story for the next few days into the weekend, finishing up our work week. We're going to see a lot more rain. But let's take a look at what you can expect now until tomorrow. So right about now, maybe a scattered shower. You're headed out the door for work. Maybe you might need that umbrella. There could be a shower or two out there, but as we move into those afternoon hours, that's when the rain chances really do pick up, with that heat picking up as well. Heading out the door on the way home and the rest of your evening, you might see a shower or two, but it's not an all-day rain. Not everyone will see rain, but more people will see rain tomorrow than today, so make sure to have that umbrella on hand. And about that time, you're headed out the door Thursday. Again, it's the same kind of cycle. Well, with this cycle, we're asking, okay, when's the best time to go outside and enjoy the sun? It's probably in the morning, especially with the lower UV, because as you hit those afternoon hours, that's when the UV's higher. You need to wear your sunscreen, but this is the week you also need that umbrella. Temperatures today, very hot, very muggy outside. Now, these were the highs of the day. We could see these change in just a second with all those rain chances moving through. Temperatures were dropping 10, 11, 12 degrees. As a storm was approaching, gusty winds just helped drop those temperatures. Showers moved through, and then it felt awfully humid afterwards because temperatures and humidity, you could even see some fog in the afternoon hours with that, and you could definitely see some fog tomorrow morning if you're headed out the door and those humidity levels are matching those temperatures. Temperatures right now about reaching those lows for the overnight, dropping a few more degrees into those low 70s for your night once again. And in comparison, we're seeing this about most of the area. Now, we do have some warmer areas out there in the west, but that's the thing. But if you look at just the colors, it looks pretty consistent of what we're seeing across the United States. So again, that cycle is just repeating itself. We're seeing those 70s overnight, 90s in the morning, or 90s in the afternoon, excuse me, and then those rain chances increasing once again. Now, we're seeing a lot more rain, but they're not severe weather. They're not a hurricane. It's just those summer pop-up storms that are making their way across in July. But, as we move through hurricane season this year, make sure to download our free WVUA 23 app and keep up to date with weather coverage and updates, as well as our social media platforms. Search Richard Scott, WVUA 23.
And we can expect that rain to come in here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not ready for that. But it probably will cool us down just a little bit.
Yeah, during the rain, it feels great.
Right.
Afterwards, it's going to feel really, really hot and muggy. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Molly. Well, Gary Harris is standing by with a look at what's coming up in sports. Gary, good evening.
Good.
And before we go,
Yeah, I want to mention again, I'm really excited about full-blown coverage from Atlanta. And I'll be here in the studio holding down the fort, that's what I can say. But our coverage headed by Stu McCann, Jeff Edstrom from Digital will be there, Callie Cassidy and JD Zaza, they'll all be there for the entire week. So again, and we'll have it on air, obviously, for our newscast, but all our digital platforms will have some web extras.
Right.
So we're looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to my radio show in the morning again at 9 a.m. on Tide 100.9 FM and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
all right, we're excited about that and fine weather.
Yeah, it's the same old story though. 70s overnight, 90s in the day. We could have a few cooler days if you got that rain chance coming through. We've got higher rain chances starting tomorrow into Saturday. Hopefully by Sunday those chances start dwindling and we get to see a little bit more sunshine. But starting tomorrow, it's a good day to always bring that umbrella on.
You know, it didn't take but a few of these brutally hot days before we're like, hey, the rain's not so bad, is it?
It's not so bad. It cools it down.
Well, that's it for us. We're back again tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Have a great night.